I will try again because
For the next one, come on.
Yeah,
just
okay.
a second. Just
No,
take your break. Take your break.
Here.
For the next startup, actually, we have something that our colleague is pulling up. Okay, so who is the next startup? Yeah. And please try to not broke the stage.
So the next startup is something related to bins.
And it's called Ameru.ai and
And on the
Kirill
stage-
Ganchev.
Big applause.
Big applause.
Hello, Kirill. Yeah, it's safe there. Don't worry. Here.
Thank you. I don't think we have power. We do or we don't?
It's blue over here. So
Okay,
probably
excellent. We're starting. Well, we're talking about the hardware products, so I brought one up. I feel like you guys should see the live AI right in front of you. My name is Kirill Ganchev. I am the CEO and co-founder of Ameru AI. We're building an automated trash can that sorts waste for co-working spaces. We are focused on co-working spaces because a lot of the people in co-working spaces are, let's just say, not very efficient at sorting waste. And co-working spaces have a hard time, even if they are good at, even if the tenants are good at sorting waste, the co-working spaces can't guarantee that the waste gets to the recycling company instead of the landfill. So what we're providing co-working spaces is a smart bin that automatically sorts all the trash, and we're providing with analytics in order to reduce their waste, and we ensure that the waste gets to the recycling company by providing a trash bag rebate program. Our main competitors are TrashBot, which is a US company, and Bini, which is a European company. The competitors are mainly focused on public spaces and enterprise offices. Thank you. Really quickly.
So let me help you. Who are your competitors?
1 second. Those are the competitors. Really quickly, just about the team. My team is comprised of 5.
Who is in your team?
five engineers from Telerik, superstars from Telerik. My co-founder is Stefan Dobrev, who was the director of engineering at Telerik. And we're currently not fundraising, but we're here to ask you to share our information with startups, that, with co-working spaces that don't have our bin, and hopefully you'll help Ameru AI go into every co-working space in Sofia. So appreciate it. Thank you.
So, who owns the problem? Okay, I'm not good in doing this stuff, putting different things, different waste in different bins, but who owns the problem? Who will pay for that?
The co-working spaces currently do. We have 6 co-working spaces. The top 6, or most of the co-working spaces in Sofia already have one of our bins. MyFlex, Campus X, we have a bin at Sofia Tech Park. We have a bin at Beta House. We're just starting in Work Better. So we've captured most of the big ones.
But why they are doing this?
Why?
Why they are paying that for that?
Because we're solving a problem for them, and that is we're actually reducing the waste, and we're guaranteeing that the waste actually goes to the recycling company instead of the landfill.
So how does it work?
Sure.
Can you show us?
Yeah. I think there's a Red Bull can right there, and empty. It's good enough. It's good enough. So you place your trash on the receptacle. It dumps it. If you want to try another one, we'll get it. Well, these are all cans. These are all cans. So I think that everybody knows. Everybody can see that metal is working, okay? So I think it's a bit of a cheating. It's kind of cheating right now. Paper, okay, paper is good. I think we're gonna do some papers. That's paper. I should reorder them because I have the wrong colors on the front. So there we go. Papers on the front. And we have some bottles. I think we've seen a few bottles. I don't know what's happening in our office, but we tend to see a lot of bottles. This is interesting because it's crumbled. I think this is a good test. This one, it thought it's garbage.
So how does it detect the material that?
It's got a camera up here. There's a camera in here, and it's got a NVIDIA Jetson Nano computer on the back that we've trained with over 10,000 images from our current customers. And we've trained it, and we keep training it pretty much over the air. It gets a constant update.
Is it the right use case for this technology?
So it's an interesting niche because if you want to scale, there's two ways to scale this, right? There's two ways to get this scaled. One way is to go directly to the MRFs, which are the material recycling facilities, which kind of like EcoPack, the big one. That is centralized, and it only captures about 30% of the waste because everything has to be recycled and shipped to them. Most of the stuff just doesn't get to them. It goes into the landfill. So we have to capture the waste at the source. So our solution has to be close to the source. And this is a solution that's a step to the next solution. Once we cover enough co-working spaces, we can then step up and start covering buildings with much bigger units than this one. Bigger when I'm talking about self-service one, when you throw the staff comes in, throws all the waste, and it automatically sorts it. It's the same technology, just a different mechanism for sorting and picking out the item. This one is a cheaper, much cheaper solution than the big one, but it's a good, easy start.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's asking how much?
600, to be exact, 671 euro and 23 cents. This one, for this one. That's the BOM. That's the bill of material.
Okay. You answered part of the question that I was going to ask you, which is like beyond co-working spaces, because I mean, like, co-working spaces is a very special segment.
Sure.
Like, how can this expand? I mean, like, what other markets? Because the market of co-working in Bulgaria is limited.
Sure.
So in Europe, it could be much more bigger. However, expanding in Europe, you should be able to. That's B2B. I mean, like, you have, it's B2B to be probably because you have to have the relations with the recycling companies or.
I mean, so I started in the U.S. I grew up in the States. The first thing that I did for the trash bin was to go to the recycling company in Chicago. Yes. So I went directly to the recycling company. I walked in there and asked them to take pictures of their waste, and I told them that I want a partnership with them. They're super open about it. So there's no problem with getting partnerships with recycling companies. And the co-working spaces target is easier to go to market with than the enterprises and the public spaces. So it's much faster because it's managed by a smaller number of people.
Yeah, he's going to ask you a question. Last question.
Sure.
Like, can you do it also for fiber, for textiles?
Yeah, of course, we can. I mean, we identify. We have categories in terms of the number of categories, over 90, but we're only sorting into 4. So we can expand that a lot. We can expand that a lot. The technology is robust enough.
So currently there are trash separation facilities, right?
Sure.
Is the technology that they're using similar to this?
The best ones, and we're talking about ones that are VC funded in the States, they're using very similar technology. But again, only a fraction of the waste that gets generated gets to them. They're only catching maybe about 30% of the waste, because most of the stuff that gets generated gets thrown into the landfill.
Yeah, but it's easier for everybody to collect all the trash and then take it to a separation facility.
But they don't.
Some of it goes to the landfill.
A lot of it, like 70%.
I was working in a big office in the States, and we had only 2 things, like paper and everything else.
Sure.
And we were very good at, people were very cautious and they separate the stuff. And I was staying late quite a few times, and the cleaning lady comes and she takes this and she puts everything in one bag.
Excellent.
And that kind of spoils, you know, the whole effort of separating at the source.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the separation facility that's out there somewhere.
Yes.
So I think this is a cool technology. Do you think you can compete with the people that, you know, they developed the technology for the separation facilities?
Absolutely. So the solution to the problem is what we mentioned. We have a rebate program. Each bag costs some money to the facility, and we have QR codes on them. The staff scans them whenever they go to the recycling bin, and they get a rebate for the bag. That ensures that the staff gets the trash can, the trash bag, the color. These are color trash bags. They get them to the right color bin. We have 2 QR codes on each one. They scan each one of them, and they get a rebate for the bag. That guarantees that the bag goes there. So we've solved that problem in that way, and that's kind of the. But that's only for the co-working spaces. When we're talking about a whole building, we're building the next generation of product. It's going to be a product that basically is the size of well, basically this stage approximately, that it goes into a building and it automatically sorts, bales, and sells all the products. So.
Okay, thank you. So your focus is separating at the source. You're not
Absolutely.
going to the separating factory.
We're going to miss 70% of the waste if we do that.
Right, okay.
And that's going to be.
Any other questions? Thank you, Kirill.